Welcome everyone, Sir Heroscape here today. As you can tell, we've got before us Craig Van Ness, creator extraordinaire of Heroscape and many other board games. And so today obviously is a very exciting day where we have an interview with Craig Van Ness, creator of Heroscape. And so today we're going to go ahead and just jump right in. So Craig, we've got a number of questions from myself, but majority from which come from YouTubers, subscribers on my YouTube channel, as well as people from Heroscapers. So I'm just going to start us off and jump right in. How's that sound?
Sounds great.
All right. Well, actually, before I do that, why don't you just say hi to the folks out there?
Hi, folks.
That'll do. Okay, well, let's get started. One of the main things that a lot of people actually wanted to ask about was, and I got this a lot when I asked about, coming back with questions for you, was Heroscape terrain. Obviously we know that there's stuff that still never came out in Heroscape, and Hasbro's got those in the annals. But the big question is there anything that you and Soaring Rhino hope to do to involve the Heroscape community by either producing types of terrain or in your future games making compatible with Heroscape?
Right. I think moving forward with Heroscape, I think I would want to do it right, which means I'd want to write up a proposal, send it to, meet with the guys from Hasbro, and try and get the rights to Heroscape.
Wow.
That would be the plan. And I mean, the worst they can say is no. And if they say no, that's okay. But I would definitely take a shot at it.
And what would that look like, actually going to Hasbro and, having that conversation? Is that so far out of the picture that it's more of a shot in the dark, or is that you feel confident about that?
It's not far out of the picture. It's you're talking about someone who worked there for 20 years.
Yeah.
So I know the guy that makes the decisions, so it wouldn't be hard to write a proposal and just do something that would make Hasbro happy and Soaring Rhino happy, and Heroscapers happy.
Yeah. Well,
it's like you got to take a shot, and just see what happens. But I'm not ready yet for that, but I definitely think that's something I'll do in the future.
And that was actually probably the answer to my next question, was where do you see that in the future? And my guess is that you'd probably want to try and get Soaring Rhino to have a firm foundation before you make that leap towards getting Heroscape back.
Yeah, I need to get Soaring Rhino off the ground with just more than just one game, right? I want to come out with multiple games, get the company going, stable, and then give Hasbro some confidence that I'm going to do right by Heroscape.
Right. And got to get Soaring Rhino soaring first, right?
Oh, yeah, exactly.
All right. Well, that's good to hear. That's exciting. That makes me excited. I'm sure all those listening will be excited to hear that.
That was like the most fun at Hasbro for me. Because there was so many people working on it, and there was such a good, following. It was so much fun to see what the Heroscapers were talking about, and I think we kind of worked well with each other, even though I didn't, I wasn't hosting the Heroscapers, but I definitely was checking out everything. Some of the stuff that Heroscapers would come up with was just amazing. Like the synergy charts. I don't know if you saw those.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. It was we had something like that that was nowhere near as visual and as cool as the guy that came up with the synergy charts.
Uh-huh. Yeah, I think you'll be in agreement that the more you dive into Heroscape annals on Heroscapers.com, the more you realize you're just barely scratching the surface.
Oh, yeah. And you know what, though? I talked with my brother, too. If we ever did get the rights back to do Heroscape again, I would definitely involve all the people that are doing the customs, because they're doing some great stuff, so why not tie that in some way, shape, or form.
That's amazing. That's exciting. Are you hearing that, you guys? That's pretty exciting. Man, well, now all of a sudden custom work just became that much more legit. For real. There's some real real potential there. That's awesome. That's a really cool idea. And I mean, I would have to agree with that. I mean, when I go in and you look at the C3V content that they come out with, I mean, the rigorous process that they put into playtesting and developing not only the figures that they create, but the figures that other members submit in the Soldiers of Valhalla SOV. It's amazing. It's actually quite. What's the word I'm looking for? I mean, it's not. Difficult's not the word, because I mean it is, but it's a rigorous process that comes out with the quality of a figure that you just know isn't cheap, isn't unbalanced, isn't I don't know how to say it any better. It's just great. Yeah.
I mean, like in the questions thread, I've already answered this a little bit when they talk about, like, have you checked out the customs? But I really try to stay away from the customs and I told my designers to stay away from it, because we didn't want to feel like we were ripping, ideas off or anything like that.
Yeah.
But since I've left, I keep waiting to find like a bad one. And pull up, it's good. I'm like, wow, that's pretty good.
That's cool. That's awesome. I mean, I'm sure that everyone wants to know which ones you've looked at now. So this actually kind of already came up in the, I guess, the FAQ on Heroscapers.com, but Star Warscape or Future Marvelscape, a lot of people were asking about. Those were venues that you already started branching out to, and I know that you can't, go too much in detail about that, naturally, because Hasbro still has the rights to those designs and such. But the question was were there any other venues you were exploring? Lord of the Rings, Narnia. I mean, Heroscape has this ability to branch out into all these different areas and still make it work, right? And the question is were you looking into things like that? And if not, what would you have wanted to look into?
I think at the time, Lord of the Rings was, I think Warhammer had Lord of the Rings. They had a features line for that, so I think we kind of stayed away from Lord of the Rings.
Oh, okay.
I think that would have been a great fit for Heroscape.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, like, we looked at other things, that we had licenses for, but I think nowadays, Heroscape could work with a lot of different things. I think, like, Harry Potter would be awesome for Heroscape.
Oh, yeah.
Like, stuff that my kids are into, like Hunger Games, that would have been like, really fun to do. Different licenses. I think it kind of applies itself to many different licenses as heroes and, army figures.
Yeah.
So anything that has that, well, I'll tell you, when Heroscape first began, we kind of looked at all the good movies that you'd want to own. Like, and at the time, it was kind of like Men in Black, Braveheart. Like, so we're like all.
Oh, interesting.
You can see that, like, that's kind of like where we went with it.
So Krav Maga agents and Agent Carr, and then Alistar McDurk.
Right?
Yeah, cool. That's really neat.
I think that, like, Heroscape could be almost any license. It really could. I mean, like, maybe not My Little Pony.
I hope not.
But, any license with heroes.
Okay. Well, I think we're all in agreement on that one. So you mentioned previously that you've gotten obviously more involved on Heroscapers.com, answering questions and such. One of the questions that people wanted to pose to you is, how involved do you see yourself being on the site in the future? Particularly, do you see yourself, being very involved in the forums, specifically with the C3V customs, or the Star Wars customs, or the SOV, the map building customs, whatever the areas be? How involved do you see yourself being on the site?
I'll tell you, it's interesting because, like, I'm such a detail guy, so in order for me to, like, kind of, like, jump in and start developing customs, I really have to have a complete knowledge of all the customs that are out there. You know what I mean? Like, and that's going to take time. That's going to take time for me to, like, understand everything that all you guys have come up with, right? So, I'm not sure when that's going to happen, but, like, right now I'm kind of focusing on Soaring Rhino and getting that going. But I'm sure, like, once that gets going and I have some time, I'll definitely check it out and maybe like design some customs. I think it'd be fun.
Well, that's exciting. I mean, I think we'll all be excited for the day when we see Craig Van Ness customs coming out. So that'll be cool. Heck, I mean, submit that to the C3V and make that an official Heroscape canon. That would be cool.
Unofficial.
Right, yeah, we have to say that. Unofficial, official, yeah. Well, you actually had a good segue there, talking about Soaring Rhino, and kind of, before you jump in too much into Heroscape, you're really focusing on, obviously, your company, Soaring Rhino, and so we've got a few questions from the subscribers about Soaring Rhino itself. So, specifically about Shifting Realms. Now, my understanding is that Shifting Realms is now on Kickstarter, correct?
Yeah, it's up on Kickstarter right now.
Okay, so for those of you out there listening, his board game right now through Soaring Rhino is on Kickstarter, and it's called Shifting Realms. So the link here on the page here can take you to the Kickstarter, and that will be up till, how long is that going to be up for?
March 12th.
So March 12th, folks. So we've got a few days here to go out and support Craig Van Ness on Shifting Realms. So with that said, I do know that I believe you have a video out describing Shifting Realms, and that's kind of an extensive gameplay.
Yes,
how to play it, and I'll throw that link up here on the channel as well for those interested. But could you just give us a basic idea of, maybe one, where did you come up with the idea of Shifting Realms, and two, maybe just talk a little bit about it and kind of how excited you are about this first game for Soaring Rhino.
Yeah, I'm super excited about Shifting Realms. Having the chance to do anything, when you start a company, you can do anything in the world. I really kind of wanted to tackle the Euro game a little bit, but I wanted to add some direct interaction. So I feel that Shifting Realms is kind of like that Euro game that has that direct interaction. So that, like, there's a game that I designed ages ago called Queen's Gambit, and it has, the idea behind that game was that it had 4 different theaters of war going on at the same time. You had like a Jedi battle, a Gungan battle, a palace battle, and Anakin trying to get to the ship to disable the shield. And what I liked about that game is that, like, players always had a story to tell, and you always had to juggle between the different realms, or the different worlds. So I've always wanted to do a game that's very much like that. That each realm has a story. It has story cards. It has a different feel. So Shifting Realms, like the 5 realms come in the box, and you always play with 3. And we've been play testing the first expansion, which has 3 more realms.
Wow.
Depending on what realms you play, you get a real different feel for like, for example, the dwarf realm has a dragon that you can, like, if you draw the story cards, you might be able to move the dragon and kill some of your opponent's units.
Oh, wow.
But at the same time, it's very much a sort of a Euro game where you're building structures, you're collecting resources, your structures have power, but there's definitely direct interaction, which I feel that, some Euro games are like playing solitaire a little bit at the same time, right? But
yeah.
But some are. I love Euro games, and I felt like, let me take a shot at designing the best Euro game I can. That's the first thing I'm going to do, because I feel like that's kind of an interesting field to be in, because there's a lot of strategy, and there's just like a little bit of luck.
Right.
The other thing is, like, the priest world has, like, cards that you can, like, actually convert units. So it's very,
wow.
It's kind of a Euro game, but then you get in this kind of like revenge fight mode. Like, this to me, I'm gonna do this. It's fun. It's different.
Well, that's what I noticed is as I was watching the gameplay video that you had, is it seemed to me like it was this really cool mix of Settlers of Catan and like Risk, in a sense. In that, in Risk you have, units that you're moving from territory to territory and taking over territory, and that's kind of what Shifting Realms is a little bit about. But then you also add, like you were saying, you're building, buildings and you're collecting resources, which Settlers of Catan, like that's basically all you do is it's a race to, build the longest road and the most buildings, and so. I thought that was a really cool aspect, is meshing those two, and so that is really a neat aspect of it.
And just like Heroscape, it's all about the combinations. So we really played through this game hundreds of times to make sure that there's really cool combinations that you can find when you combine the realms together. Like, I get that structure and this story card, and that all works. It's like that's kind of like behind the scenes, but that's definitely built into the game as well.
Right. Well, that's like we were saying before about Heroscape. That's the best part, is the discoveries, the small discoveries you make. That's when it makes it exciting. Cool. So this was another question that Heroscapers posed, is that right now you've got Shifting Realms. Do you see Soaring Rhino focusing on one game and doing expansions over the course of a few years until that game is complete and out? Or do you see yourself as, Shifting Realms and then an expansion, and then, coming out with another big game and an expansion, kind of, putting your fingers into different games at the same time, so that there's, well, yeah, I guess that's my question.
Right. Currently, we have about 12 games that are in prototype form.
Wow.
So we're kind of and some, I'll be honest, aren't that good. That's part of what you kind of go through as a game company. And you know what? Those should just stay on the shelf till they're ready.
Mm-hmm.
But for the most part, we want to deliver probably 3 to 4 games a year after the.
Oh, wow.
And we'll definitely deliver the expansion for Shifting Realms, the first expansion. But after that, I think we want to broaden our line. We're looking at strategy games, we're looking at card games, and we're looking at party games, like mass market party games.
Right.
That's kind of the broad scope for Soaring Rhino moving forward.
Oh, okay. That's awesome. Great. Well, we'll be looking forward to those new games as well as the expansions for Shifting Realms. That's exciting stuff. So going with Shifting Realm, so with Soaring Rhino being such a new company, a lot of us wonder, what is the structure right now? Is it just you and your brother just doing everything? Is that just you two?
It is. It's challenging and it's fun at the same time, because but it's not just me. It's people that I hire. It's people that I work with. It's the partners that you develop. It's more than just one person, but at the same time, it's fun. It's a blast. It is.
Well, that's exciting. So we're coming up to the end here with the questions from our subscribers. But I guess the last question would be, to kind of close out, is coming back to Heroscape. What would be your final say for those of us Heroscapers here listening to you, excited to not only have you back in the community participating, but also creating a game company that's looking like it's going to be very successful, because you've got all our support. So what can you say to us both in the Heroscape community and here going forward?
Well, I've always loved Heroscape. They're awesome fans, and it's just really amazing. All the kind words that I get from the Heroscapers, all the things that people tell these stories about the friends that they meet, through the community. It's awesome. I mean, it's just a great place. I mean, I always said when I go to the Gen Con conventions, there's always there's just a good group of people that are Heroscapers. For whatever reason, maybe it's just the family crowd. I don't know. For whatever reason, it's just a good group of people.
Yeah,
that's just been my experience, and just to be a little part of that is.
Yeah. Well, I agree with you there. I mean, I think we can all say the same, is that Heroscapers are a good bunch of people, and we appreciate you hearing, or excuse me, we appreciate hearing that from you, Craig, and I just want to say thank you to you. That didn't come out right. I just want to say thank you for taking this time to interview with me and answer some questions about not only Heroscape, but again, your company and the new game you've got out. And those listening, please go to Kickstarter. I've got the link for his Kickstarter page where you can go and support him and back his new game, Shifting Realms. And we're going forward. Soaring Rhino is about to take off. So let's gather together, help Craig Van Ness, and we're excited to have you back in the community, Craig.
And thank you, Sir Hero. Like, you've done so many videos. I mean, it's pretty amazing. It is.
I appreciate it. Well, thank you guys for watching. Again, thanks, Craig, for all he's done. We'll see him on the forums, I'm sure. And go check out his YouTube channel. He's got videos about his new games and what Soaring Rhino is all about. So thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you guys next time.